IMO in my opinion with J&M. Jonathan, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, what's up?
Took another week off.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
That's what happens when the guest doesn't show up. Right?
Oh, you see, you weren't supposed to say it like that.
No, well, I did.
Man, Jesus Christ. Anyways, how are you, man? Doing good?
I'm good. I realized that I work with a modern day Aladdin.
What?
My coworkers just fucking steal shit. It's weird.
Oh, so what do they call him in the movie?
Riffraff, street rat.
Street rat. That's what it is. That's
fucking
what
shenanigan. He goes into junkyards and like steals like radiator hoses and puts it in his fucking pants.
You know what? I got a guy at work, and he might watch this. So, David's an awesome guy, but he's got to be a modern day garbage picker, right? Like he goes to the warehouse and he'll see a random ass box, and just be like, "Oh, esto está bonito. Yeah, aguántamelo. No lo tire. It'd be garbage, and he wants it for some reason. I think once they went to change the water heater at the job, and he was like tempted to take the water heater home, and I'm like, it doesn't work. Like, what do you want? Oh, esto se puede hacer un barbecue, tú sabes. And
a barbecue out of a water? All right.
I guess.
All right.
Anyways, we got a guest today. I'll let her introduce herself.
Yes, Celine Montijo. Hello, everyone. Thank you for
How
having
you doing?
me.
How you doing?
I am good.
A little close to the mic.
I am good. Thank you.
So what do you do?
What do I
Start
do?
there.
Okay, so I wear many hats.
Okay.
I direct, I produce, and I act. I haven't acted in some time. It's probably been good 5-6 years that I haven't acted.
Wow.
But I will be acting again, so I'm excited to get back in and start acting.
So what do you find to be the most challenging out of those three?
I would probably say directing.
How so? Like, what do you find? What's the challenge?
I
there?
just feel as a director, you're kind of almost responsible for the entire production and how that turns out.
Okay.
You're calling the shots on set, and
It's like me with this podcast.
Oh God, no, that's definitely not it at all. At all, man. You're lucky. I'm not used to this. That's it right there. Continue.
Yeah, so I find directing maybe the most challenging.
And then, did you go to school for?
I did not.
So
it
this
was
is all
all
just
passion projects.
nice.
I got in maybe 10 years ago, again, acting, and slowly but surely started doing other things in the industry.
So what was your what was your first project? And was it like acting or was it directing? Or
my first project was acting. It was, I want to say, could have been Divergent. I was in Amity Faction.
Okay.
Was that 10 years ago?
Oh,
Okay, something like that. It could have been that. Maybe I did Chicago PD. I did like an inmate, but that was more background work. I did an independent film, Ride Along, director Larry Green. So it was more acting. And then I did start at one point, I was attending Harvest Bible Chapel, so I was operating the camera. So I thought that was pretty cool, operating the camera, seeing how
Isn't it fun working behind the scenes sometimes?
It is. It really is.
I found it to be so fascinating, like the whole process of filmmaking.
Right.
Not just acting, behind and front, all of that. All of it kind of just like really, activates my creative side, John, you're just gonna laugh at what I just said, right?
What? No, yeah, he's got a creative side for sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out why you're wearing a corduroy fucking red jacket.
It's not really me, right? It's not really my style, right?
That's a good color.
It
It looks good on him.
It's different.
Look at that.
I gotta get used to
It's
it.
not my style. But
It's usually a black T-shirt with him.
Yeah, usually. I had to change it because I had a black T-shirt underneath. I'm like, he's gonna say something. I might as well wear a different color. I don't know. Either way. So you were on PD?
Yes, and that was years ago.
Years ago?
Yeah.
What was your experience?
Wait, I don't know if it was Chicago PD or Chicago Fire. I'd have to look back on my
What was your
IMDb.
experience? And
it was great.
You were background or you were
It was
cast?
background. It was background for that.
What do you think about background? Do you think it's something beneficial? Because a lot of people like to have a split opinion on should you do background, should you not? Is it beneficial? Is it not?
Well, I think to start off, you should always do background, right?
I agree.
I mean,
100%.
I don't know. Do you know anyone who never done any background work and then just came on and had like a lead role?
Those special people that you know, that just they're one hitter home runs kind of people. You know, I guess. But like I've heard people say, especially like in some classes that I've taken, like, you know, you got to stop at some point. I'm like, you know what? Just I would say do it. First of all, it's easy money.
Right.
2, you get to witness things and you see things. And it's a rare opportunity to see actors do what they do, and then who better to learn from than actors? You know?
Absolutely, yeah. Get your feet wet, but like you said, don't stay there for too long. You don't want to become complacent. I know people who've been doing background work for years.
I know people that do it for like their second job.
Okay, so
like,
maybe that's
cool.
different, right? Like they're just doing it for the money.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it is what it is. Again, I remember my first. I think I was on PD first, like the first time I ever did a background, and just the exposure of it, right? Because you don't see this,
right?
It's so much information because you never really see what happens behind the camera. When you watch a film, you just watch what they want you to see. You never see the slates. You never see the Apple boxes. You don't see on it. You don't see rails. You don't see this lights. Blah blah blah. Directors, 100 people behind the scenes doing whatever they're gonna do. You never see it. So I think it's something that you definitely should do, you know? So you also do some podcasting, right?
I do.
Let's talk about that since we're on a podcast.
Right, since we're on a podcast, I host the Media Lounge podcast. I've been doing that.
Guest on one day soon?
Yes, absolutely. I've been doing that for about maybe 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a great experience. I don't have the visual like you guys do, but that's hopefully something that I'll be.
Oh, shucks.
What made me want to do that? I don't know. Again, just passion projects. You know, I love the industry. I love the entertainment industry. I grew up listening to music, doing I used to break dance. I was a B girl growing up.
Okay.
So I was always like interested in the arts.
That's cool. That's really cool. So what was like? Were you by yourself when you started, or did you have a partner? Did you have guests? How did you?
I was.
Tell me the process.
Okay, so we're going back some years, even more than 4 years back. I was the mastermind behind it because, you know, it was my idea. It's my
we have something in common.
Yeah.
I know John likes to take a lot of credit for this shit. But,
okay.
The truth
You're like, I'm the
It's all in
mastermind.
good fun.
Oh, that's right.
So I started off, it was called the Latinas View. I think that's what it was. And it was myself.
Was it like The View, but with
something like that. It was one of my girlfriends and I, and then we had a show on the Comcast channel. What is it, like Access TV or something like that?
Oh, you had that?
Yeah, so we had that.
You had a lot more than we did. We got on Access TV.
At one point, but you know why we stopped that was because the set there was so outdated.
Okay.
And that's when, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, everyone started podcasting. I said, let's do this. You know, it'll be all audio. I think we do have like some videos out there where we tried doing something like this at the house, but it was just too much work. And we didn't have like all the equipment and it's just a lot of work.
I wouldn't know.
What does John do? I'm curious.
Yes, let's talk about that. Yeah.
On show days, I stumble down here from my bedroom and I show up.
He happens to come down here. You know, he might as well.
What's going on down there? You shooting a podcast? All right, I guess
either podcasting or playing PS5. I mean, might as well do something.
Is this something that you're passionate about?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy meeting new people and talking, I guess.
Okay.
That's good.
He says it's gotten me out of my shell. I don't know about all that, but
okay, so you're like an introvert.
Yes, it has.
Oh, severe.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
more like in high school than
Really?
anything else.
Okay.
You're talking to a kid who, instead of going to lunch at a high school, he would go to the library and read a book.
Oh.
We had a library at Kelvin Park?
Yeah.
With books?
Yeah.
Did they have bullet holes in them?
Probably. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in a city. I was born and raised in Humboldt Park, Logan Square area. Okay. Then eventually.
Where'd you go to school? Clemente?
No, I did not.
Okay.
My first year, I went to Notre Dame for girls.
Oh, right by my house.
And then
that's the one that used to be on.
what was it?
Wellington
Wellington,
and,
was it? In Central? In that
yeah,
area?
because I lived like 2 blocks away from there.
Okay.
I used to cut class from there, and then me and the guys would go down there
Go
to try
check
to
out
pick
the
up girls. I literally remember doing that a few times.
So I went there for my freshman year, and then sophomore through senior year, I went to Taft.
Okay. That's over on like Foster, no?
It's right here.
Yeah.
No, that's the new one. The new one is right there on they built like an annex for like freshmen.
No, the old Taft.
Yeah, it was over
right
there.
around here.
Is it right around here?
Yeah.
What am I thinking
Like
of?
on Northwest Highway, and what other street is that?
What am I thinking of then? What's that school we used to play tennis in? Remember that it had like those single courts with the concrete walls?
Was it Elmwood?
No. It was not Wells.
I don't know.
It could have been Wells.
Both sucked
It could,
anyways.
yeah, we sucked at tennis, but we tried.
Yeah.
We tried. It's the effort that counts.
Yeah.
That's the effort.
Yeah. You
Almost
guys
got
tried.
shot playing tennis too.
Oh.
But
You know,
that was
Like
Humboldt
that
Park.
movie.
not at
Yeah,
Humboldt
Humboldt
Park.
Park.
We were not at
Humboldt
Humboldt
Park?
Park.
Yeah,
we were in Blackhawk Park
Okay.
on Fullerton and
That's
Fullerton
the
and
Humboldt
Laramie.
Park
Yeah.
area.
So like, you know where Mama Luna Pizza
Kinda,
is,
sorta.
right?
Yeah, that's not completely the Humboldt Park
Yeah, that's not
area.
Humboldt Park.
Belmont
That's
Cragen?
Belmont Cragen. That's not
Okay.
Belmont Cragen.
He said that's Humboldt Park area.
I mean, I know for a fact because they just showed a little girl almost getting kidnapped there like a couple weeks ago. We talked about it last podcast. So you went to went to Taft, right?
Yeah, Taft.
Were you like an athletic person? Did you play sports? Were you in the chess club, debate
I was
team?
none of that. And the reason being was because my parents didn't let me do anything. I mean, but it's so funny. They didn't want me to do anything, but I was always like outside, and just obviously without their permission and without them knowing. So, yeah, Taft was really interesting. It's not what it is today. I think now it's like a college prep school or something like that.
I think they put that name on all schools because I think Steinmetz is a college prep, but I don't know. I don't know about Steinmetz. I don't know. It's
Prison
kinda,
prep.
Yeah,
that
we
school is
had
kinda
like
rough.
a lot of racial wars, and it was just really bad at that time. It's again,
Really?
it's a great
Taft?
school.
Taft was like,
Taft,
wasn't
yeah.
that like a smart school?
No,
I
I
thought
thought
not in the
so.
90s.
I thought so.
Really? I swear, I
I
thought
think
that was
it
like
is
one
now.
of the smartest, like the smart, like I wouldn't say it's like
It's
Lane
mid
Tech.
right now.
Yes.
It's kind of mid right now.
Like Lane Tech
It's
was
like-
the one. Okay, that's where all the geeks go, right?
Yeah.
And then all the Puerto Ricans that don't go to Kelvin go to Clemente,
Kelvin.
and then the ones that don't go to Clemente end up at Kelvin Park.
I was supposed to go to Orr.
Oh God, you would have never survived.
No, I went to.
Man, remember when we used to go play with Isai at that school over there by Orr?
Yeah.
Just going there was kind of like,
sketchy.
yeah, man.
It was sketchy.
It's rough. It was rough over there.
And you went to Calvin?
I went to Kelvin Park
Okay.
High School. I survived. Well, we both did.
My sister went there for 1 year.
1 year.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't work out.
That didn't work
Yeah.
out.
Never
It doesn't
does.
work out for too many people.
Well, we bashed Kelvin Park so much on this show.
there was good moments. Come on.
not
Yes.
for me. Not for me.
Maybe not for you. I had fun. I had a lot of fun in high school. High school was like one of my
Calvin
best.
Park was. I knew a lot of people from Calvin Park.
Yeah, we like to have fun. Reggaeton was popping out at the
Okay.
time. Gasolina was out.
Okay.
We were in
so
that.
what were you like 2000s or something like that?
I was in the
Okay.
early 2000s to mid
Okay.
2000s.
Okay.
But like Calvin Park was so much fun. I bashed it because like we didn't get the quality of education that we probably should have gotten. But
Nowhere
man,
near.
we had fun. We had a lot of fun. There's parties, freaking girls. You know how that goes.
Where was I for this fun?
You were in night school.
Oh yeah, that's
in
right.
the library.
Yeah, the library.
Yeah,
Dude. I just totally lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. So what are you working on right now? Anything?
I am, yes. So I just got hired to do a series. It'll be called 187 Brooklyn. It'll be kind of like it's a little gritty, kind of little street like. It's about this girl named Brooklyn who wants to be like an MMA fighter. So we're going to do a lot of shooting like outside.
Are you gonna have a lot of fight scenes?
Yes,
That's
we are.
tough.
And I think that's going to be very challenging for me. I've never done anything like that. It'll be like a thriller. I guess you can say it's a thriller. I've done a lot of like drama and the music videos. So I've done music videos and short films. So this is going to be like a series.
Okay.
I'll be working on episode 1.
Cool. I mean, I have one semi-fight scene in my short film, and I find it to be
Fighting
it's going to be-
choreography
it's
is
gonna
kind
be
of
like the
tough.
hardest
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it will be.
I think it's because of the fact that obviously you're not really hitting each other, right? And I think getting the camera to fool people into thinking that it's real
Right.
I think is the challenge. You know,
Absolutely.
like I've looked up like countless videos on this, right? So like, you know, hiding the camera behind the punch or whatever the fuck or whatever they use. By the way, you can curse all you want on the show.
I don't curse.
Okay, good. We'll try to monitor.
I don't
language.
care what you guys do.
So I think there's so much technique to it that it's almost overwhelming. You know, like I have a plan that I want to do. I don't know how it's gonna come out yet.
Yeah.
We're working on it. We're working on it. I really found filmmaking to be very, very challenging.
Yeah.
Very stressful.
Absolutely. Yeah, not anyone can make a movie.
Oh man, yeah.
It's very stressful.
It
Yeah,
is
it's a lot of
super
work.
stressful.
And you need a team.
Agreed.
Team who's better than you.
And
know?
I think everybody has to be on the same page.
Yeah.
You know, I think finding people that are willing to sacrifice as much as you do,
Yeah.
right? That's important because I mean, mind you, we're all, I don't want to say novice, but we're all doing low budgets to no budget films
Absolutely.
or short films or whatever.
Yep.
We're not really paying anybody except in Mama Luna Pizza
Right.
or whatever.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? That's great payment for me.
That's
and him.
great
That's
currency
great. Yeah,
where we
that's-
come from.
You know, getting people that are going to be like super focused, you know, when you pay people show up.
Oh, absolutely.
And this
Yeah.
is not a dig at anybody.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this in general. It's always like that, you know, but then there's few people in this world. Like I would consider myself one of those where like, you don't need to feed me. You don't need to do anything for me. Just give me a script.
Yeah.
And let's do this. I'm one of those guys, you know, not everybody's like that. And that's okay.
Yeah.
But you know, like you said, you got to find the right team, you know, the right people.
Absolutely.
Like that guy right there.
Like
He's part of
John.
my team.
Oh, look at John.
He's been around. He's been around for a while. He's actually been getting pretty good at like helping out on set.
I try.
He holds a
Yeah.
mic like no one else.
Yeah.
Like no other.
Yeah.
He's got the arms for it.
That's
so.
what I go
He's
to
got
the
the
gym
arms,
for.
right.
To hold the mic.
To hold the mic, right?
I had him since we bought a steady cam. We've been trying to play around with it. I had him and his wide feet walking around with the steady cam trying to figure out how to use it. It's always fun to.
That hurt my back too.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Aw.
No, it wasn't that heavy though.
Well, my back was hurting before.
Well, that was a sacrifice necessary, necessary sacrifice for the good of the project. I appreciate you. Here, you get a round of applause. For that.
I don't need it. I don't want it.
All right, then I'll take it. Okay, I'll take it back.
Didn't you get a little gig too?
Oh yeah, so I booked a little gig working on lawnmowers, which is funny because he actually works on lawnmowers. Like you should have got the damn thing.
And
What were you gonna say?
and what happened when you tried to drive that
Oh my
thing?
god! So have you ever driven a lawnmower before?
No, I have not.
So you know how like you've seen them like on TV, like the
Yeah.
ones you can sit on, you can drive
Okay,
like a little car, right?
yeah.
And then there's the ones that like the contractors
Yeah.
use that
Yeah.
have like handles in front of them. Okay, so these handles are basically your accelerators and your brake, if you want to call it. But each one handles one side of the car or the
Okay.
little cutter or whatever thing. And it's so you drive a car for your entire life.
Right.
Anything different from that kind of feels scary, right? Like you don't have control because you're
Right.
so used to a steering wheel and then brake and gas with your feet. So I'm driving this thing, right? And I'm like literally like the guy tells me, okay, go, you're going to ride and pretend you're cutting the grass by this fence. Okay, cool. So I'm just riding the thing and the thing just like to get it to stop. I almost spun around in a circle.
And not so easy, is
it's
it?
not.
You're always taking digs at me and my job and this and that. Not so easy.
Are you a
right?
landscaper?
No.
No. Okay.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Well,
And-
That's part of
it's
it.
not people's houses. It's like municipal, like forest
Oh, okay,
preserve.
okay, yeah,
forest
yeah. Those
preserve.
are big jobs.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
he drives
okay.
the big one. So like when I mentioned it to him, he's like, "Yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah.
I know how hard it can
So
be."
you
in the
drive
beginning."
those, like you know how to
Last
drive
10
those.
years, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I just gained some new respect for people that.
Yeah.
It's still kind of just give me a week. I'll
Yeah.
figure out how
Nah,
to
you
drive it.
still, no.
Yeah.
But it is.
I couldn't
it is-
drive that.
It is
Yeah.
kind of a weird feeling. And I think the funniest part was like I was still trying to stop the fucking thing with my feet. Like I was pressing on the, you know how it has like
all
a
yeah.
freaking metal
Yeah.
piece or whatever. I'm like stepping on it
That's
hard
the
as hell.
thing
Like,
to raise and lower the deck, the
Yeah,
cutting
yeah.
deck.
I'm literally
Goofball.
trying to stop it with my feet because that's what I'm used to. You know,
Yeah,
it's so
yeah.
awkward.
Hey, you respect me now.
Okay, sorry about that. We had a little bit of a heat issue.
Little snafu.
I will keep my
Happens.
eye on these cameras now going forward.
Mhm.
So let's talk about your short film.
Yes.
What was your experience? What was it about?
Okay,
did
which
it go?
one? I know you did. Did you watch Unhinged?
I watched Unhinged.
Okay, that was my first short film.
So let's
and
start-
I
let's
thought it
start
was
with
like
that one.
terrible.
Why was it terrible? Let's go
It
through
was
that.
terrible. Well, one, lack of experience,
Sure.
but I didn't know what to expect going in and directing for the first time. Well, I that day I just came from directing a music video, and I went straight to set to direct that short film. But it was totally different. Nothing that I've ever experienced before. It was just a different vibe. And these actors, they were such professional actors. I think you may know Enrique.
Yes, we do know Enrique King.
Okay,
Yes, he
Enrique
was on our
King.
podcast
he was on.
once.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so Enrique King's such a great actor. I had Martha and just a few others. But in any event, I walked in there.
Isn't Martha like his like friend? He's always with him. She was on our podcast too. Remember they came together?
Martha Moncado?
Yeah.
I think that's her.
And then
Yeah.
they came together.
Yeah.
They came together for that podcast.
Okay, yes. So
I was thinking Martha Stewart.
Oh God.
no.
Maybe I was wrong.
Hispanics.
Yeah,
Oh,
Latino.
yeah.
Latino. Okay.
Not HBC white ladies.
Martha
HGTV.
S. Stewart. S. Stewart. S. Stewart.
Stewart.
So it was. So I learned a lot going in there. I can't say that I was really prepared as far as the type of shots that I was going to do. I didn't have like a storyboard. I thought I was going to go in there and just like.
You just gunned it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I'm just gonna wing
But
this.
That's how you cut your
Okay.
teeth.
And I had like 2 drinks prior to that because we were shooting that other music video, and I come to this, everyone's like, "Oh, serious," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" like,
I really gotta do this
Like,
now.
what am I gonna do here? Where do I
Man.
start? But hey, we got it done, and it definitely was in my best work. I know people talk about sometimes to bring it up, and I'm not. Let's not talk about that.
But we all have that though.
We're
I
not
mean,
talking like it's not something that I would even like promote.
we have
anymore.
everyone has like I'm not proud of our first podcast.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Oh, it was
It was
awful.
awful. It was horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, people say whatever they want to say about it. Obviously, it was the first time we were
Yeah.
doing it, but I mean, everyone has that learning curve.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, like no
Yeah.
one, no one,
Like-
no one goes their first time out and it's just
Yeah.
fucking James Cameron.
I
It was
never
like-
Right.
watched Unhinged, but
Oh
I'm
my
pretty sure it was
God.
Unhinged times 1,000. Our first podcast was.
and
It was awful.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, here's the thing. So I kind of watch a lot of the stuff that people put out when it comes to like short films and stuff like that. And I may be a little critical. But I'm a critiquing guy.
Yeah.
Like that's me, and I don't necessarily mean it in the most negative ways. I usually like, to me, it's more like, okay, these are things that I've learned that make certain things look a little better,
Right.
or whatever. Because I'm a research guy.
Yeah.
Like I'm super research. I'm that guy. So I'm that one that's gonna like, how do you adjust for exposure for this type of thing or this type of shot? I'm a storyboarder. I
Okay.
figured out. I'm one of those. Like, and he can
Right.
attest. I am detailed when it comes to shit. Like
Right,
that's
right.
just me. But it was a learning curve because I did a short film like 2 years ago, the one I did at the job,
Yeah,
at my
about
job,
that.
like 2
Yeah.
years ago. I mean, is it the best thing in the world? No. Does it look okay? I guess.
Mhm.
Could I have done things a whole bunch, different? Knowing what I know now, of
Right,
course, I would have made it
absolutely.
100 times better.
Yep.
But I mean, it's the first step. You have to kind of just get out there and do something. You
Right.
know.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
you
Was a
didn't write
learn-
it though, right?
No, Carlos wrote it. Carlos Torres, great writer. He also wrote Resentment. He wrote 187 Brooklyn, which I'll be working on next. So yeah, he's just a great writer. I love his writing style. It's a lot of it is like kind of street stuff that I like. Drama, thrillers. So
What about where'd you guys get like your equipment from and all that stuff? Are you guys
well,
own it?
no, I've done a few videos where executive producer Adam Dada, shout out to Adam. He's the owner of Indeed Be Studios. I don't know if you've heard.
Yes, we've heard of him.
Okay.
We have heard of him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's done so much for us. Like if we need props, we need something. He's got all the gear. He's got like high-end gear, like the best camera, sound, mics, just
I'll give him
everything.
that. I'll
He's
give
got
him that. He has that. I'll give him
everything
that.
we need. So
Doesn't he have it all for sale right now though?
He currently does, but
I think he's he's moving somewhere or something. I was reading.
No, I think we may keep it open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I think we're working on just maybe keeping it open. He does have a few things for sale, but we're just in talks now, like what we're gonna do with it going forward in 2023. There are a few people who still want to work with him and want to have that studio. That studio was a blessing for me.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I remember I stopped by there. I want to say like right when he started mentioning all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think I borrowed a microphone from him one time.
Okay.
I mean, I have no, I don't know. I get this conversation.
We did a podcast over there. Never showed.
Yeah, but I mean that's neither here nor there. God, do I really want to? I guess
yes, you do. I want to hear this.
So here's my 2 cents.
They kind of butt heads, I guess.
Here's the thing. I never had a problem with his idea.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
The idea was noble. I get it. Right. You want to help indie filmmakers. I got it. That's cool. I get it. But a lot of it didn't make sense to me. Just in the sense of, I remember when I first started talking to him.
Yeah.
This was, mind you, no one was really around. This place was empty as shit. There was nothing in it. Whatever.
Okay.
I remember I went there with 3 of my friends, and we went to go check it out. And he was big on saying, you know, I don't make a dime from this. I'm investing all this money into this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That to me is not a winning recipe, right? Because a business is a business, and a business is made to make money. That's what it's for. Every business is like that. Yeah. I've never seen a business that makes no money and somehow succeeds.
Right.
That's impossible. I don't care how much money you got. You're going to run out of money. A lot of the things with him, for me, was how he would post things on social media. You know, the way he would talk to certain people or whatever. And you can, and listen, I'm a fan, and I am 100% backer of freedom of speech. Believe me, I do a podcast. But here, then again, I gotta watch what I say, because you know we all have agents, and we gotta be careful what we say.
Sure we do.
Especially John.
I'm all for saying whatever you want to fucking say, right? But when you are a business owner, right? I think you have to elevate yourself a little bit differently. You have to present yourself a little bit differently, right? Because your goal is to get people in the door.
Yeah.
Your goal isn't to push people out.
Yeah.
Or only let the people that you like or whatever. Like, that's not good business. But nonetheless, that was my biggest issue with him, is just more like he doesn't know sometimes how to control his mouth. He threw some jabs at me one time mentioning like my family and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah. I'll keep you at a distance, bro. Like, I mean, I don't need you. I don't need him. But I mean, I think for what he does for other people.
Yeah. And
some of them have said, you know, good stories. I've heard bad stories about him too. So, but if he's beneficial for you, more power. But
absolutely.
I did like his idea.
Yeah.
I did, because I think, you know, for having somewhere to go for short films or whatever is necessary.
Right. It's a great place to network. I met so many people there. Again, he had like all the equipment, you know, and some people, you know, it's not for everybody. Now, was it a business? I don't know. Maybe he uses it as a tax write-off. I don't know. You know, I have no idea. But in any event, we are trying to save the collective. We'll see what happens. Oh. So, you know, if you see posts up there, then maybe it'll be saved in 2023. You'll be like, okay.
You know, I've always, my thing with, I've never been a fan of renting stuff or borrowing stuff. I like just having my own stuff, because I can use it whenever I want. Yeah. I don't need to ask nobody. Yeah. And I think that's always been beneficial for me. Yeah. It's not for everybody, because obviously, you know, shit costs money. Yeah, absolutely. You know, and we all can't spend, you know, $2,000 on a Blackmagic camera and a cinema lens. Yeah. You know, so I think, you know, in my case, it's always been pretty cool, because I've always had friends. Like Diego's my cinematographer. He's one of my, you know, a good friend from high school. He invested in his cameras. So I invested in audio, and we kind of work together, you know, so we can make things happen, you know. So we have basically everything we've needed. Plus we have John, and he's like a human tripod. So we're good. Exactly. We're all good. That's all we need.
Human tripod. I like that.
You got John, you're good. You would.
But
yeah, no, valid point. You know, some people love having their own gear. I myself, I'd rather not operate the gear.
So you never wanted to like move a camera around?
I did. You know, when I was at Harvest Bible Chapel, I was a camera operator.
Okay.
But it's not something now as a director that I want to do.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to operate the camera. I mean, I look at obviously the director monitor and tell you know, shots, but that's maybe the extent of it.
So what's your like directing style? Like, how do you approach an actor who's, let's just say struggling in a scene? Struggling to get the emotion you want. How do you approach them?
I've been told that I'm very direct. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Good to
I
me.
mean, I feel I'm approachable, but I am very forward and just honest. Like, you know, we're here, especially when we're working. You know, we're working. This is what needs to get done. We need more emotion. We need less emotion. Whatever it may be, I go have a conversation with the actor.
Do you ever try to help them like imagine this or do this just to kind of trigger little things out of them? That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Absolutely.
That would be the total opposite of me.
Just yell at me.
Get your shit together. You're a professional. Come on.
Yeah.
Some people need that. Some people need that.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But so you said you're working on one currently, right?
I am.
When is that?
Well, 187 Brooklyn will go into pre-production maybe
Oh, yeah,
within
pre-production.
maybe within the next 30 days.
Okay.
We're still, you know, sorting out some details. But I'm excited about that. We'll likely be filming in winter, which, you know.
That adds
Winter
another fucking.
Always fun in the city of Chicago.
I hate I hate shooting in the winter.
You're gonna film outside?
A lot of these scenes will be outside. So yeah, that's gonna be brutal.
Can I ask a question? Since I saw one of your short films and it was the whole cop, and it's funny because I'm gonna do the same thing, like the cop dramas kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you think we stick to, like, us as Hispanics? Do you think we stick to that too much? Do you think we should expand our genres? Is that the right word?
Maybe. Well,
Horizons.
yeah.
Because I've always felt like a lot of the short films I see, right, are either drug related, crime related, police related, and I'm not criticizing because mine is police related as well. But like, I feel like we all kind of have the same stories, not stories, but the same kind of.
Yeah. Why not make something about a shy Puerto Rican kid in a high school that would go to the
library during lunch or something,
and then
right?
Sounds like Jeffrey Dahmer. Then he ends up like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, I mean, that is a good point, but I think that comes from a lot of Latinos. That comes from the Latinos who maybe grew up in like the inner city or in the hood, and that's what we can relate to. And really, the audience for that, it's like, that's what people like. That's really what sells. I think that's really what people are looking for, believe it or not, Latinos and Blacks, that's my take on it. Like in my circle, I have a lot of, Latinos and Blacks, obviously, more minorities. So that's really what they're into. They love the music. They like the street stuff.
Interesting. I don't know. I
think we can change it. Maybe have like a positive message at the end or something like that.
And I think that's kind of where I'm, because mind you, this is what we do when it's our projects. But like when we go into the professional realm as Hispanics, maybe not so much you, because obviously you're a lady. I'm a guy, and like I look a certain way. So like sometimes I'm sick and tired of auditioning for gangbanger number whatever. Yeah. Or whatever or Hector el whatever, el marihuanero, like I'm sick of those type of stuff. And I'm like, that's kind of like where, well, if they're not going to give it to me, we need to write our own stories where we're opposites. Absolutely. Or we're not that anymore. Like I would love to play the lovable father, from Danny Tanner kind of role. I would love that. Yeah. Not going to get it, but I would love that. That'd be great. I can be nice.
I think we should start exploring outside.
But you get what I'm saying. I'm not criticizing. Stuff. I'm not criticizing the police. I mean, that genre, because I love that drama. I love drama too. But I feel like, we're in the professional world, in the professional realm when it comes to cinema, we're so stereotyped.
We are, absolutely.
As Hispanics.
I agree. Yeah.
And I feel like we need to kind of branch away from that. But we need to prove to them that we can do it. So like even in our own short films, we kind of have to expand a
we
little
do.
bit.
And I do have that short film. I'm not sure if you checked it out. It's called Ya Basta con las Mentiras.
I did not see that one.
Okay, so this is a professional couple. He's black, she's a Latina. But unfortunately, it was about him cheating. So maybe that's not a good example. Never mind.
Well, I mean, it's not
They
a
were
love story.
They were an educated couple, You know,
it's funny because I have this idea. I have this idea for like a mini series that I want to do. I'm not gonna say it because then somebody's gonna take my idea.
Say it.
But no, I'm not gonna say it. But it's kind of the same concept. Not the same concept, but like you always got to hit those points where like, okay, Hispanics have an issue sometimes with other Hispanics or other races or white people or whatever or blah blah or the police. It's like all those things got to be in there. And I'm like, how do we change that without like fulfilling a story?
Right.
Yeah. So speaking of stories, Netflix has a really good special out right now.
What's that?
About the Jeffrey Dahmer stuff. Anybody seen that? You guys haven't seen that yet? What Evan Peters? You know who Evan Peters is though, right?
No.
Quicksilver. He was Quicksilver in the X-Men movies.
Okay.
The actor. So he plays Jeffrey Dahmer. Do you know who Jeffrey Dahmer was?
The only Evans I know is Bob Evans.
I don't know who Bob Evans is.
The guy who makes
Sausage? Is that who
Yeah.
But do you know who Jeffrey Dahmer is?
Absolutely. He was so growing up, he was like the one that I kind of remember hearing about and having nightmares about.
I remember hearing it in the background, like when my dad would watch like the news about stuff going on in Milwaukee. Do you remember it?
Yeah, I
Like,
remember.
My mom remembers it pretty well too.
Wasn't that before your time?
No, he got caught in '94.
Oh,
so he was still. I was still a little kid, but they were talking about it in the news.
Like I learned what a cannibal was because of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's such a crazy story, And then all three of them were kind of in the same. So there's three major ones that I know of that I really, really did some research on. So you have Ted Bundy, you have John Wayne Gacy, and you have Jeffrey Dahmer.
Okay.
And they were all roughly in the same era. Because I don't think you can get away with that type of shit nowadays. Because there's like way too many cameras, too much intelligence on people or whatever. I don't think you get away with it. Plus, everything has changed, obviously. In that time, there was more segregation. There was things against gays. Gays weren't really accepted or whatever. Blacks had their issues with police. Being black and gay was even a bigger thing.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't think you get away with that shit now. But let's think about this. John Wayne Gacy took almost 30 lives, dude. Kids. He buried 23 of them under his house.
And half of them used to work for him, right?
Not half of them, but like
or something.
He had a company. He would hire young kids or whatever, and then he'd lure them home and knock them out and molest them and whatever, and then kill them and then bury them under his crawl space. Then Ted Bundy was the opposite. So Gacy and Dahmer were both they were both gay.
Okay.
So they were getting guys, right? And then Ted was the woman one. So I don't remember. I think his story said he killed like almost 30 women, but they don't really know that he could have killed a whole mess of them more.
Didn't he escape from jail? They had him in jail.
They had him in jail twice. He jumped off of a second floor window at a courthouse to get out.
See, that's you would think they would have. I mean, in Chicago, we got bars in regular houses. They don't have them in the courthouse.
No, I mean he jumped from who was gonna really think he was gonna jump from a second floor window?
I mean, second floor. Come on.
But this is not like a second floor. This is like a second floor of a courthouse. So it could have been like a third. It could have been like a third level. But put it like this: this man was almost brilliant, right? Like he literally started practicing how to jump. So he would jump from his bunk off to the concrete floor to get his legs ready to try to land this jump because he was already planning it.
Oh wow!
Like he cut. You know how he escaped out of jail the second time? He cut a hole around the light fixture in his room, squeezed himself through, and walked right out, and nobody noticed him.
Wow.
I mean,
that's impressive.
Dude, I mean, you almost got to give him credit. You almost got to give him credit.
Right.
Like, I mean, he did some bad shit, but that dude, he was slippery. He was like that greased up deaf guy in Family Guy. Like, you can't get maybe next year. Like, you just can't get him. You just couldn't get him. But man, what else is crazy about Ted Bundy is like Ted Bundy, like he denied it to the very end. Like I think he was hours away from getting killed, right? Because they put him down. Literally at the last minute, he admitted to everything. But he represented himself in court. Did you know that?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Like he was a showman. This dude was a showman. He was there. He challenged everybody. I think he was a law student before he went crazy or whatever. Okay. But these guys had brains on them. Some of them, like I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what would you do? Like, I mean, how do you even get into that type of mind state? Do you think they're just mentally ill?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I wonder though.
You would have to be.
You'd have to be mentally ill.
But I don't think Ted Bundy was mentally ill because he. Okay, so here was the thing. They were trying to plead for all three of them. They were kind of like the defense was trying to say they were insane, right? And the reason that never flew in all three cases was because to be insane, it would be like you did something, but you didn't plot to hide it. And they used that to make sure we couldn't get the insanity plea for any of them.
Gotcha.
So like the fact that they killed people and then they purposely and planned to bury them or burn them or throw them wherever, that shows that you thought about what you were doing. It's not an instantaneous kind of reaction. Does that make sense?
Right.
So that's why they couldn't use that. So I don't necessarily say they're insane. I think they couldn't control themselves in any way. Like they had these weird impulses.
Does that make you insane?
I don't know. I mean
everybody has impulses.
Just some people act on them.
I mean, there's got to be a
insane
disconnect,
people do.
Right?
I don't know if it's the word. That's the right word.
No, you think they were okay? You think
No,
they were sane?
You're psychopaths.
He's like, they're not insane.
Psychopath, I think, would be a better word than insane. I feel so unprofessional. We had to stop twice.
Yeah, it happens.
And we're still breaking these.
It's like
cameras
the old days, right?
Remember? Yeah. I had to get up every 5 minutes. We might have to start doing that again. No, we're not going to do that anymore. So just to conclude the thing about the serial killers, they're nuts.
Yeah, they're nuts.
They're fucking nuts. I'm glad all three of them are gone.
Yeah.
Because the world does not need them.
No, we do not need them. Maybe it was something that they were eating, processed foods and stuff.
Well, Dahmer was eating human meats. I mean, I'm pretty sure that would do it. That might do it for you.
Right.
So you wanted to talk about a specific thing, right?
Yes, La Familia, which I mentioned earlier in the podcast that I'll be acting. So I will be on La Familia, guys. Check that out. It's on Killing the Arts TV. The director is Dorian Johnson. He directs Nell's Way and La Familia now. So he's working on 2 shows. So that's going to be pretty dope. And you'll recognize some of the actors there, some Chicago actors.
Okay.
Nervous? You said it's been like 5 years since you've actually
Yes.
Oh, you're acting in it.
I'm acting
I thought
in
you were
it.
directing again.
Yeah, no, I'll be acting in it.
She just
so
said the director is...
Shut up.
He wasn't
His
listening.
mind is on the
You
camera.
see?
He's nervous.
I'm distracted right now.
Okay.
Leave me alone.
Yeah. So, look out for that. And lastly, check out my artist, Johnny, JNI. He's got Body Bends out and he's got some music now with K Cartier and King Trey. So be on the lookout for that.
So you're like producing his music or you like making videos for him? Or?
I'm managing him.
So you're imagining him?
Yeah.
Oh, imagining him. You're imagining him.
Managing him, yes.
Oh, so you really have a lot of fingers and a lot of pies, huh?
Yeah, I told you I wear many hats.
Yeah.
That's a horrible expression. I'm sorry.
That's not an expression.
a lot of pies.
I swear I've heard that somewhere. I didn't just make that up.
No, yeah, you did.
No, I'm pretty sure I did not.
I'm gonna Google this.
But I see now I'm fucking lost even more. John, take it away. Take it away, bro.
Take it away,
So Jeffrey Dahmer.
What you got, Jeffrey Dahmer?
It's falling off the rails.
Well, real quick, since we didn't have a chance to talk about the Disney fiasco with the Little Mermaid. Real quick,
yes.
What's your opinion on that? How do you feel about it?
I'm all for it.
Why
not?
Why not?
I know people are used to the White Mermaid. Who cares? She's a make-believe character. Like, does it
he
really?
Kind of cares.
Does it? No, come on.
Here's my thing.
What?
Here's my thing. I think I agree. It doesn't matter. But if we use that logic, right, and it doesn't matter because it's a made-up character, all I'm saying, and I've always said it, is let's be fair. Okay? So if it's a made-up character that is portrayed already as a black person, then it shouldn't matter if that character changes white. Now, I know that's not going to happen because it is a problem. When a black character gets changed to a white actor or whatever, there's always an issue.
Right.
But one way and the other, it's supposed to be allowed. All I've ever said is let's be fair. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who Ariel is. First of all, I think that girl can sing. That little snippet that she comes out with, that girl got
say.
freaking pipes. But here's the funny part. I saw somebody on YouTube, was it YouTube? Somebody grabbed like a computer, really powerful computer, and fucking changed her back to white. Right from the trailer, right? And people were having a cowl over it, right? And I'm okay, I understand, I get it. But what they don't understand is that the same thing was done, but in reverse. So you grabbed the character who was originally white, a cartoon character, you made her black. Applause, right? So then somebody else grabbed the black character and changed her white, and we boo it. It's the same thing. What does it matter? I know it was probably done to piss people off.
Yeah, of
but
course.
Probably,
Of course.
But here's the thing. Disney is doing the same shit. There's a term for this. I watched a video about it. Disney purposely does this shit to make people talk about it. So we're puppets to them.
Yeah.
Like literally the whole point is for people to fucking argue about it.
Yeah.
Any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
And
true.
it's
Bad
causing a
publicity.
division more than
That's true.
anything amongst the black and the white people, you know. And really, like, so you said that let's be fair, but what's unfair about it?
No, there's nothing unfair about it.
Okay.
My thing is that it's always in one direction. So if a white character gets replaced by a black person, right? That's okay. That's called progress.
Right.
But if a black person or a black character is replaced by a white actor, that's the opposite of progression.
Has that happened?
I'm pretty sure it has. It's usually the other way
I don't
around.
know.
It's usually the other way around
Let's think
because
about this. Oh no, I think you're making stuff up.
So I'll tell you right. I'll tell you right now. I'll give you an example. So they're gonna make a movie about what's that Spider-Man who's Miles Morales,
Okay.
right? So the character is half black, half Puerto Rican.
Okay.
So if the actor's only black, is it okay if I complain about that
Right.
and say no? He cannot only be black. He has to be half Puerto Rican.
Right.
Has to be. Is that okay? I'm pretty sure I'm going to get some flack from somebody saying, oh, it doesn't matter. It's just a cartoon character. Who cares?
Right.
But then if they go and make the sequel and they say, well, we're going to replace the black person and say, now we're going to put a Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you can't do that.
It'll be a big deal.
That's all I'm saying. I don't care who plays Ariel.
So long as it's not Jaden Smith, like they said it was.
Oh,
gonna be.
I remember
Oh
that.
my gosh.
Ooh.
I don't care who plays Ariel. At the end of the day, if I want to watch the original film, I'll just watch the original film.
Yeah.
But I just need it to be fair because it's not always fair.
Yeah. No, it's
You
not
know,
always fair.
It's like the concept of well, you can't do blackface in film, right?
Right.
Which I think is wrong. You shouldn't do
Yeah.
that. But Marlon Wayans and Shawn Wayans did what a few years ago? They did
Yeah.
a whole movie dressed like white girls.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's a
Why
valid
is that
point.
okay? That's not
That's
okay.
good.
That's the same shit.
I
That's
just
my
hope
only
this
argument
movie's
with it.
good because I
I
haven't been a
doubt
fan
it.
of the.
I doubt it.
I haven't
doubt
been a
it's not gonna
fan
be as
of
good
the
as the
live
original.
versions of like
None of them.
Lion King and
You haven't?
no
Okay.
the Beauty and the Beast was all right.
Yeah.
I
I
didn't
would
care
say
for
that's
the
probably
other
the best
ones.
one
Yeah,
out of all of them.
I think so too.
Like Lion King's hard to do. This might be hard to do too because you can't in cartoon form, you can get away with a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Right? In real life, these animals don't do this. Right? They don't
Yeah, they don't make
sing.
faces.
They don't make faces. They don't stop and ponder and put their hand like this and think. They don't do that. They only do that in cartoons. So if you're going to make it, that's what Lion King sucked for me.
The
'Cause
kids
Lion King, there
love
was-
it.
Oh, talk about kids. This is one thing that's
Yeah.
weird I don't like, that I think is wrong with people. So I watch videos of people reacting to it. So they'll have a little black girl who will say, oh my gosh, she's like me. Right?
Yeah.
Cool. Then I see a video of a little black girl that says, that's not Little Mermaid. She's supposed to be white. So now we have contradicting
Yeah.
views, right?
Yeah.
Here's my thing. I don't believe children know color. I think children learn what they are taught.
Absolutely.
So I think if your child is saying stuff like that, you need to watch what you say around your child
Yeah.
because they're identifying color instead of identifying the person.
Yeah.
Right? Would you say, I mean, your kids are kind of older now, but like when they were little, would you think they would know? And your kids are kind of triennial anyways.
Yeah.
Do you think they would be like, oh, this is a white kid without you telling them
No.
or them learning on their own, right? I would think kids are innocent
Yeah. I
from
agree.
the get-go.
At that very young age, absolutely. That tender age of what, 3, 4 years old?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be recognizing color at
Right.
that
It
point.
should be, they're just people to them. You need to, they learn what they are taught, what they see from their parents.
Yeah.
So if your kid is saying things like that, I would be like, you know what, maybe you should check yourself at home and stop being so like pointing black and white and red and whatever and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like just let people be.
I think a lot of these videos that we see out there are scripted, though.
I agree.
I think so too.
Right.
I agree.
I'm like, okay, whatever. That did not happen. She didn't really think about that herself.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think so
anything
either.
now, you know, to
Again,
put on social media.
Say
and-
she looks like me.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Good job.
And point,
Yeah.
I
Ready?
feel
I can
half
see
of these
that
are
shit.
scripted. Yeah.
I mean, I think so too. And I think on both ends. I'm not just saying on one end or the other. I
Yeah.
think on both ends it'd be the same thing. But I don't think kids really know color like that.
Yeah.
And again, I'm sorry, but
I'm thinking about
I
turning
think-
into a serial killer myself.
I can't
If
even.
you
John,
don't get-
continue because I can't even see the screen.
Wait, you're gonna
Yeah.
kill some cameras, right? That's
Well,
what we're
yeah,
gonna do.
And bop him over the head with something too. I mean, come on.
I apologize. I really apologize. I apologize for my
It's okay.
my
You know,
unprofessional-
Especially because you were such a good guest.
yes. That means you know what that
thank
means.
you.
We're gonna bring her back. We're gonna bring her
Yeah.
back, and we'll
bring
get
me
her-
back after 187
There we
Brooklyn.
go. Now
What
we're
about
talking.
that?
And
Okay?
after the cameras
After
get
the camera,
fixed.
we resolve
Yes.
our problem
Figure it
with
out.
cameras. But where can people find you?
I am on
social media?
Instagram, _female_director, and Selene Flores on Facebook.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Besides all the technical problems, did you have a good time?
I did, yes. I look forward
This
to
is so
coming back.
embarrassing.
It was great meeting both of you. Thank you guys
You
for
too.
having
We
me.
need this.
I love what you guys
This
are
is what
doing.
we need right
Yeah.
here for both of us right there.
Oh. Just kidding.
Hopefully you will join us again.
Absolutely.
Again, I apologize for all the technical
No.
difficulty we have. Jonathan, you got anything else, bro?
No, let's get this.
All right.
before it
Buenas
turns out-
noches, everyone.
All right.
Wrong button, sorry. And that's going to be our show for tonight. Like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, everything we said is in our opinion. And if you don't agree with it, go get some better cameras than the ones we have.